Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'll be talking about discipline and time management. Discipline can simply be defined as the ability to effectively, efficiently and consciously manage your time. To be able to effectively manage our time, we need discipline, because without discipline, time management is impossible, because you have to discipline yourself to know when to do this and when to do that. You should not be doing the right thing at the wrong time and the wrong thing at the right time. We should be able to know when to do something. We should plan ourselves out, and when the time comes to do that thing, we should make sure we do it. We should be conscious of how we make use of our time, because without discipline, time management is impossible. For example, as a student, you are given an assignment on the third week of school. Third week, like the third week after resumption, you are given an assignment and you were asked to submit it on the exam day. Probably the exam day is on the 6th week after resumption. Okay, and then the exam is to start on Monday, and then on Sunday night you're running around doing the assignment you were given since the third week after resumption. That's you not being able to manage your time effectively. Because if you had managed your time, if you had planned yourself out, if you had disciplined yourself, you would have been able to do the assignment and keep it there ready for submission. You get? Many students in school are not able to manage their time effectively. Many workers in their workplaces are equally not able to manage their time effectively. You should be able to know when to say no and when to say yes. If it's going to be of a disadvantage to your side, I don't think you should say yes to it, because most times you're like, okay, what's this person going to say? Let me just do it, forgetting what you planned to do with that time. Then you let someone else decide what you do with your time. For example, you have a presentation at your workplace on the Monday, and then on Sunday evening your friends are like, let's go party, and you're like, to be somehow, if I don't go with them, well, let me just go with them, that kind of thing. That's you not being able to manage your time. That's you not being able to discipline yourself. You should be able to know when to say no and when to say yes. It's really, really important, and it's affecting most individuals in today's society. Everyone wants to please everybody. No, when you've disciplined yourself, you see that no, it's not every time I should say yes. I should know when to do this, I should know when to do that. Nobody's perfect. I'm still working on some areas, trying to discipline myself more and more. But I can tell you, the little I've done, I've seen really, really positive effects. I'm still working on it, because no one is perfect, and we know that. Well, we could all try to apply this. Yes, this thing I make use of, the 5 seconds rule. Okay, let me use a case study. Okay, for example, you want to clean up your room. You know that urge, that drive that comes, let me clean up this room, let me clean this room, my room will be very neat, you understand? And then you're like, let me just chill. After a few minutes, you find out that you don't want to do that stuff again. You don't want to clean up your room again. You've lost the zeal and all. But just try using the 5 seconds rule. Let me clean up my room. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amanda, stand up from that bed. You understand? You tell yourself. I use it a lot, and it really, really works out. Because if after 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you're not up from that bed to start cleaning up that room, I'm telling you, it's going to be very difficult for you to do it. You just keep on postponing, and before you know it, at the end of the day, probably you end up doing it weeks later, or you end up not doing it at all. So we should all try to discipline ourselves to be able to manage our time effectively. It's really, really going to go along. I'm going to stop here for today, but definitely I'll be coming back with more facts and things on time management and discipline. Thank you all for your time. Bye for now.